Our task was simple, to go pick up a piece of steel, an artifact from the World Trade Centers.
We left Mesquite Monday morning and drove 21 straight hours in a storm that would not leave us alone. It followed us the entire way. It was a neat experience to get to go to New York. I've never been. A different setting than what we're used to. But once you figure out the subway, it's not too hard to get around.
As we came out of the subway tunnel, saw the site, saw Ground Zero, to look up at the towers that were still standing and realize that the World Trade Center towers were twice as tall, just really takes your breath away to think that something that big and that strong can fall.
We did come across all the police and firefighters that have visited, actually left their patch there, and we were able to do that and left our city of Mesquite patches.
We got to see Fire Station 10, which is right next to the towers. They lost a lot of their crew in that collapse, and to see their memorial on their wall and see the list of the names, they even had them listed on the fire engine, just kind of set you aback.
It was emotional. There was a lot of people around. There was a lot of construction going on. It was a somber moment. It was a good time to go around and just relive and see what was going on at the time. There was a lot of activity. It just showed the resilience of the people, the resilience of the city.
The first time I saw the artifact being loaded onto our trailer made me think of that day, of just how destructive that was, how hot that fire had to get with that jet fuel for it to make all these pieces of steel look the way they do now, just completely twisted and just totally demolished.
It was a very sobering moment to see just a warehouse full of just bits and pieces.
I think there was a definite sense of this is the closest that we'll ever be to such a tragic and such a large event in our nation's history. It's very humbling and very reflective on what this piece of steel does mean and what it's going to mean to our city. Immediately set off for Bristol, Tennessee. Our brothers there at Bristol Fire Department were prepared to receive us and house the steel for us.
They felt privileged as well to be a part of this and be able to secure it for us, and really appreciate them. We stopped in Rockwall the night we got back, and Saturday was just an awesome sight to behold, seeing 100+ motorcycles from the Patriot Guard leading us into town was just, words really can't describe it. You really needed to see it to appreciate it.
A lot of people from Rockwall came out, a lot of support from them as well as our city. I hadn't expected as large of a turnout as there was when we got back into Mesquite.
To see the varying looks, from children saluting to veterans to a responder that was there. Mostly a somber mood, but also a kind of a celebratory feeling of we brought this piece of home as a proud moment for the city, yet you could tell it was a reflective moment for everybody.
You know, in some small way, us getting this piece of steel and paying tribute to those guys will help heal in some form or fashion, not just them, but the rest of us.